So if you pay attention to even 1/10 of what we spoke about the marketing, right? You are going to increase your volume of and quality of inquiries, guaranteed. So you're going to have more inquiry coming in. Now, like I said before, a lot of guys think, well, 10 different ways of generating inquiry, that's absurd, why would I do it? If you've got lots of inquiries coming in, what do? Okay, you be more selective, cherry pick the best ones, but also have a process around that. Now, and that's what we're going to talk about next, and that's all what sales covers. So specifically, we're going to look at the golden rule for sales. We looked at the golden rule for marketing. What was the golden rule for marketing? Niche, specialized, specialist, bang. Trust, relevance, differentiate straight off the bat. With sales, there's a golden rule as well. And then we're going to look at a process for sales. So when I say the word salesperson, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Give me some. Bullshit artist, sleazy, dodgy, liar, overpowering. Okay. Lower than a lawyer, even. Okay, that's pushing hard. But probably not too far off. Yeah. Now the interesting thing is, when you ask someone something like that, and you say straight off the top of your head, that's generally a reflection of your beliefs. What you believe around that thing. So if you've got a belief system that salespeople are liars, dodgy, pushy, telemarketers, second-hand car salesmen, that sort of thing, then how are you going to sell? Like because you all have to sell. You've got to sell your work. And if you've got those beliefs running around your head, you're not going to come across very well. Or you're not going to want to do it well. Now, I also want to shatter a myth around sales. Firstly, there's no gift of the gab thing required at all, ever, okay? You don't need to learn how to do sales. You don't need to go do sales training, anything. All you got to do is follow a system, okay? 80%, you can do that stuff and it'll help, but because you're in an industry where most guys aren't doing that, all you got to do is have a sales process or a system for how you allow, this is important, how you allow people or get people to buy from you, all right? Because if you don't have a system for how people buy from you, you're going to be at the mercy of everyone's system for how they buy from you. And everyone has one, right? So what do most people, when you go shopping, what do you want to do? What does everyone want to do when you go shop for something? Save money.
Go direct to where you can buy it and so you don't have to spend much time in there.
Yeah, and you want to know you're getting the best, you want the most value for the least amount of money, right? You just want to get the best possible product or thing without paying too much. It'd be fair to say, around something along those lines, we're all thinking like that. Whether it's a car, clothing, you want the value thing, but you don't want to have to pay an exorbitant amount.
But I'm not going to spend all day doing that.
Not all day, yeah. Most guys get in and out, bang. Hunter mentality. Yeah, female. My wife and daughter went shopping yesterday, they went like pre-shopping. They went and checked all the shops out before they went today to go. So different strategy, right? But Eric?
Women like to look at things, they like to
yeah.
pick up the vibe and feel it.
But you're going to want value, right? You're going to shop around. If you can get the same product, different shops sell the same thing. You want to get who's selling it at what.
It's often not about getting it straight away and getting home. It's about feeling like you've made a
Yeah.
choice.
But you put some time and effort into it, right? So now imagine, so someone buying a house, looking for a builder to build their $1 million, 500,000, 300, whatever house. They're going to want to find the best builder for what they pay. You guys know this, right? That's what they're looking for. Now, if you don't have a process for how you get them to buy from you, you're going to be at the mercy of theirs. And you deal with some intelligent people, right? They've got a strategy, a game plan for how they choose a builder that they like best, that they feel safest with, and then not pay him an exorbitant amount. So you need a process. You need a sales process, and that's what I'm going to show you now. And it's simple. Really, really easy. First of all, golden rule of sales. You'll know this because we've covered it, but if there's only one thing that you can do, or what is the one thing, the single most powerful thing you can do to ensure that you convert more jobs? So instead of doing 10 quotes for one job, that you're quoting 1 in 2, 1 in 3. What do you reckon is the single most powerful thing?
Learn what the client wants.
Learn what the client wants? Yeah. That's probably one of the things, but there's one thing that'll just obliterate all time wasting. And remember, quoting is the biggest inefficiency. So doing lots of quotes, how do you kill that? Also their budget, that's a very powerful question. Most guys are too scared, so you want to do that. And that's in line with what this is. Okay. Gain their trust, yeah. Qualify. Now this only makes sense if you've got a good marketing system. So remember, you want to have a pipeline of overflowing with inquiry, with quality inquiry. That's why 10 by 10 marketing. Market aggressively, and the more quiet it is, the quieter it is, the more aggressively you need to market. Do more marketing, online, offline. Go hard with them. I see more architects and draftees and real estate agents. So that you've got a lot of inquiry. You can't quote on all of it. So basic economics of supply and demand, right? You set it up so there's more demand for you than you have the ability to supply. You then step back and then you qualify them. This is what you do. When someone contacts you, whether it's via Facebook, email, phone call, stops you on the street, oh, you built my brother-in-law's house, I want to talk to you. The first thing you do, you say, just so I can help you best, do you mind if I ask you a few questions? And you can say that while they're speaking, right? Because you might get some people will talk for half an hour before they take a breath, and then you find out they're out of your area, they don't qualify, you just wasted half an hour of your life, gone. So what you do is you ask the questions, and you have a series of questions, well thought out, qualifying questions that you take them through to establish if and how you can work with them, whether they fit the profile. And if they don't, you very politely turn them away, refer them to someone else. Okay? So that's the single most powerful thing you can do for sales. Obviously, you need to have your marketing working first, which is why marketing is so important. Because someone that's crying out for work, then you go, this doesn't make sense. So here's the system. Like I said, 80% of sales is a system. Forget the gift of the gab stuff. And here's it here. Now, what Rich was just talking about ties in beautifully with this, because we've been using this for years now, but we've got little adaptations to it, which I'll tell you about, which are working really, really well. And a lot of it's come from builders, like experimenting with things. I'll tell you what some of the guys are doing. So a person phones in. Now, the intelligent thing to do is a roofing company, they get a lot of phone calls. It rains, they get a whole lot. So they've got a very professional message bank. One of the guys' wives message, it captures messages, and then the guy blocks out time in his weekly plan to call people back, like 90-minute or 2-hour chunks of time. And then he phones them and gets back with them nice and quickly, and then qualifies them. Just so I can help you best, might offer you a few questions. Well, what are some of the questions, by the way, that you'd ask someone to qualify them? Time frame, budget. How many? Here's a good one, right? This also came from a builder. Have you built before in the past? Yes. Were you happy with the builder? Yes. Is he quoting on this job? Yes. Why are you speaking to me? You know what I mean? Paint them into a corner, find out what's going on. How many builders have you spoken to, or contractors who are you dealing with? And really, and if you've got more inquiry than you can handle, you have to be aggressive with your qualification, because otherwise you can't go see everyone anyway. If they qualify, so you're happy, yeah, they've got budget, they've got plans, they're ready to go, they're only speaking to 2 other guys, blah, blah, blah. You then book site inspection, right? Or they come see you if you've got offices, whatever your situation is. You book it for about a week out, right? Now this is really, really, it sounds like an arbitrary detail, but it's not. It's hugely important, okay? Within 3 minutes of putting the phone down, you send an email, boom, okay? Email confirmation, great to talk, confirm me next Thursday at 2 p.m. this location. By the way, here's a link to our website or Facebook page. Okay, to give you a feel for some of the work we've done. Now, that's where all your portfolio photos is. With the lead gen website and with what Rich is talking about, they've got free quotes on the Facebook thing. I'd rather go with 12 things you absolutely need to know about building an architecture design new home. And then take the time to create a document that's 12 pages PDF with fantastic photos and information. We've got plenty of examples of those already. So the person gets this email, they go to your website, Facebook page, they opt in, they get this PDF document, impressive information that's relevant to them, the type of work they want to do. Then you take your marketing brochure, all right, which is very schmick and impressive and full of relevant information and social proof and testimonials and guarantee and compelling reasons, and you express mail it. It costs you $5, boom, you send it off. Now, what's happened here is they're dealing with a builder who, within 3 minutes of speaking to them, they get an email. Ding. Most people get it on their phone now anyway, right? The next day, 10 a.m., bang, this is on their desk. Okay? The next day, 48 hours later, you phone them. 2-minute call. How's it going? Just wanted to make sure you got that information okay. Now, at this point, they're either going to say, whoa, I didn't realize you guys are multi-award winning. I saw that house. When did you build that? And blah, 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 blah. I went to your Facebook page. I saw you got 3,000 likes. Or they'll go, I haven't looked at it. Sorry, I'm flat out. You say, that's okay. You got till next Thursday. I just want to make sure you got it. Okay, so it could be a lengthy conversation or 2 minutes. Then you call on the day of the appointment, if it's in the afternoon, or if it's a morning appointment, the afternoon before. Just phoning to confirm. Okay. Now, some people say that's too many points of contact. Have you ever been to see someone they're not there? They forgot. Their time management's crap. So and you drive half an hour to get there, and then half an hour back. You don't ever waste a minute of your time. Okay. So you confirm out of respect for yourself. Plus, to them now, there's a method to this, right? Can you see you're getting a gist of what we're trying to do here? Remember back in the marketing, the thing that you're trying to achieve with your marketing, with being a specialist? You then arrive on time, presentable with an outcome objective for that appointment. And then finally, you follow them up afterwards. So it depends on whether some of you might collect a check at that first appointment, others might then only present a quote after that and then follow that up. So there's a lot more steps that come. But this is the basic outline, right? What do you reckon the benefit of this is, of doing this and having this like a lead inquiry process on a piece of paper that you follow with every single person that contacts you? What's the main benefit?
How they qualify and huge rapport.
Qualify, great rapport. They get PDF from your website, plus they get this. Then they get to meet you. So it builds your profile, massive, yeah. But more important than that, it's doing something else.
I see you're a man of your word.
That's it. Which means what? They trust you, right? And this is what that is, guys. It's covert persuasion. When I say covert persuasion, because you follow this with them, then after that appointment, right, I'll phone them up. I say, hey, I'm this coach, been working with this builder. Tell me, what do you think of him? And they guarantee you, or when they sign the job, you can ask them, hey, out of interest, I know there were other guys quoting, why did you choose us? And they'll say, oh, it just felt right. It's a feeling, right? You made them feel safe because when you said you're going to do something, you did it. Now, it was only a little thing. I'm going to send you an email. Bang, it arrived. I'm going to send you you talk it down. I'm going to send you some information in the mail. Bang, express mail the next morning. Then you follow that call up. Then you follow up again. Then you arrive on time. The next time you say to them, I'll have the quote to you within 10 days, you think they're going to believe you? See, that's demonstrating trust. It's little things, because when you start a relationship with someone, you don't have a history. So they can see testimonials from Steve Waugh or other celebrities, and they can see your photos, but they still don't have, there's no history with them. So this allows you the opportunity to demonstrate to them that when you say you're going to do something, you do it. Okay, and when you do this the same way every single time you deal with someone, then you come across, not only is it efficient, you're very professional, and then from their perspective you build trust. Plus, you want to capture, so here's some of the questions. I can send you guys a copy of this. You want to ask them how they hear about you. How did you hear about us? Sight sign, banner, you'd signage, Facebook page, and then you capture your information and just keep these in a folder and you can feed them into your CRM or database or whatever. At the end of 12 months, you can see 137 inquiries came in. Out of that, we quoted on 72. Out of the 72, we converted this many. And then out of the jobs, these were the most profitable jobs. And then you can say, where did they come from? They're coming from Facebook. Wow. Then go spend $7,000 a month on Facebook because that's where all your Blue House work's coming from. You know what I mean? Or it's coming from one particular architect. Take the guy out for dinner, you know what I mean? Or pay for him to go to the rugby or something. So, gold, guys, simple, eh? Just follow that, bang, you're going to be. So most guys are just, they're missing calls, they're arriving late for appointments, they've got no system, no process. Now, if you want to go and do NLP training and sales, closed thing techniques and read books, great. You can overlay that on top of this, but you actually don't need to do anything else. Just be yourself. Just follow that process. Okay, so it's going to build trust. It's going to keep it relevant if your information's obviously relevant as well, and you're going to differentiate. So what I want to do now is just talk about the numbers, and if you guys implement some of this marketing and sales stuff, what it means to your bottom line. So looking at a very simple example of a guy that does 50 quotes. 50 quotes over 12 months. This is over 12 months, right? 50 quotes. The conversion rate's 25%, so converts 1 in 4. So out of 50 quotes, 12 and a half jobs. The average job size is $160,000, and that equates to 2 million turnover. So small, medium, 2 million turnover builder. Now some jobs are 700 grand, some are 30 grand, averages out 160, okay? Profit margin is 10%, net profit after all expenses. So the net profit in dollar terms is $200,000, 10% of turnover. It's got a business, small, making some money. Now we say, okay, we've got these numbers, let's crank it up. We're going to make some more money, right? Let's get it working more efficiently. So niche, create a brochure, website, Facebook, site signs, youth signage, banners, flyers, sponsor the local footy team. Yeah, get it out there. Start happening. Direct response. And with all of that, remember with all that marketing, all that offline marketing, every ad in the school magazine or brochure or flyer or jumper or banner, we've got guys with banners on busy streets, man. They just cane it. But what do people do these days when and you would have done it yourself, you see a site sign or vehicle signage, just grab your phone, take a photograph, right? People don't run it like with pen and paper anymore. Just take a photo, they get home. What do they do? Go to your website. Go to your website, opt in, bang, you got their details. So building a database all the time. If you did even half of that, let's look at if we increase those parameters by 10%. So you do another 5 quotes over 12 months, which is not an unrealistic expectation, right? If you do a bit of marketing, reach out. You don't even have to do anything direct response. You can get another 5 quotes, right? Even in a downturn. So 55 quotes, conversion rate. Now, if you do go heavy with the marketing, you can be more selective, so your conversion rate goes up. So in this example, we're just nudging it up 10%, so 2.5 on the 25, so it's a 27.5% conversion rate. Now there's 15 jobs, which is not huge, 12.5 to 15. And average job size, nudge that up slightly. So I know with most guys I work with, they want to do slightly bigger jobs. Okay? Better sales and marketing, you can do that. So here, it's gone from 160 to 176. So turnover is now 2.64, which is not massive, right? It's another 1 job, maybe 2 small jobs. Profit margin, so we spoke about that this morning. How to increase that, reduce cost of sales, increase the pricing by 2%, eliminating inefficiencies, right? Just tighten things up a bit. Now you go from 10 to 11%, you can see the net profit is actually $90,000. But small incremental increases in those areas, which is a 45% increase in net profit. So this is just a fictitious example, right? But this is if you measure these numbers and then run with the strategies in those areas, believe you me, it works. You get bigger results even. Okay, and this is where you've all heard of guys growing too quickly. They get in those results, but there's no control over it. They're not managing that growth. Okay, so you want to know your numbers. Does anyone measure these? The conversion rate, so quotes, conversion rate, job size and margins. You'd all have those numbers though, right? If you go look back the last 12 months, you can see how many quotes you did, how many jobs you did, so you can get your conversion rate, and then you can look at divide the number of jobs by your turnover, get the average job size and your margin. That profit margin is in your P&L. So you got the numbers, that's your scoreboard, right? So go back to like a cricketing analogy. Those are your stats, those are your numbers. Now all you got to do is manipulate them to get a result. Okay, so locking in the key learnings for sales. What's the number one thing you learned? Jot it down, and how much money is it going to make you conservatively if you implement that in your business? Just with the sales process, I just want to talk about some variations on that. So with some guys, what they've had is they've run with the marketing and then got an increased volume of inquiry, and a way to further reduce their time wastage with dealing with these inquiries and weeding out all the bad ones. What they do, one guy in particular, he was going insane because he was driving out to see everyone and finding out they were duds. He would say to them, look, in order for me to help you best, I need to ask you some questions. What's your email address? I'm going to send you an email with 5 questions. If you could please answer those and email me back, I'll call you to discuss a time for us to meet. And straight away, 30% of the people, he wouldn't hear from them again. The ones he did hear back from, they actually bothered to type out a full-on response to all his questions. What does that tell you? Strong indication of interest, right? If someone's tire kicking, again, their brother-in-law to do the job and they just want a price, they wouldn't do that. So he would take it from there. And then, as what people are doing as well, on top of that, is getting a 4-page questionnaire and putting it inside the brochure that they send out by express mail and saying, explaining to them in the phone call, I'm going to send you a bit of information. Inside is going to be a questionnaire. If you can complete that, a lot of it's like tick the box stuff, but also questions like, in doing this job, in this project, what's more important, the quality of the work, the time that it gets done in, or the cost? If you had to choose one, and if they say price is the most important thing above quality and everything else, then that sort of you can flags it as well. Plus, if they complete that questionnaire and then scan and email it back to you before you meet with them, what does that tell you about their level of interest? All right. Otherwise, if they don't do it, you can always just pull it out at the appointment and then just go through it with them. So that's another great little, these are these things that guys are doing beforehand. And obviously with what Rich is talking about, that email marketing system, most people will probably go to that, log into the email Facebook page, the EMS system, and then get your brochure, online version of your brochure, and then contact you. But if they don't, when you speak to them and someone sends you an email, you can say to them, hey, have you seen that online brochure? If they go no, then you tell them, hey, go there, direct them there.
Yeah, just on that topic, you could also use that EMS thing I said to send the email. You can send this individually as well to that group of prospects, so that you can see exactly when they've done it, what they've done, when. But then with the poll, and I haven't mentioned this to you yet, but that questionnaire can be on your Facebook page as a quick tick box thing, which then goes viral simultaneously, so that the questions, as they're answering it, all their friends are seeing in their newsfeed. Kurt is saying, answering these questions about what they're looking for the build. You wouldn't put all the personal stuff, but the entry level stuff, like the beginning page, you can put there. And that's a common technique at the moment that businesses use on their page.
Yeah, and these are all next level. First, get the 6-step process, and then you can tweak it and add these other refinements, if you like, too. So that's sort of next level.